Okay, folks, welcome back, London Heathrow live. We are going to put a little pip in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Anytime now, you'll see it come up so that you won't miss the hatch opening moment on the ISS, from the module to the ISS. That hatch opening moment, easy for you to say. So we'll, Gilly, can you confirm when you're going to get that up? Oh, okay, there you go. You got a little pip there, folks. Now, as soon as it happens, we're going to be monitoring that. And then we'll switch to the main screen for the hatch opening. And hopefully, we won't get this Cathay Pacific 747 going out. Other than that, we're live at London Heathrow. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you've enjoyed your weekend. Still feels like a Saturday to me, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's probably because we've been doing nothing but non-stop live streams for you folks. And a big shout out to Steve. What's his name, Gilly? Steve Russell. Steve Russell. Can you hear me, Steve? Thank you, sir. Hope you've managed to find your way to YouTube. And welcome to the show. And thank you very much for your support, and everybody else as well. So let's get on with the show. Looks like I've got an LL Dreamliner just about to push back. 747 freighter with Cathay Pacific. She's just closed her main cargo door. Ironically enough, we were talking about latches around the space. The ISS, where it latches up against the module, has a number of latches, much like the nose on the 747, which we've seen here on Big Jet TV as well with the guys at Cargo Logic and their 747 freighter with the nose load operation. Obviously, to seal it tight, it needs for all those latches. I think there's about 15 or 20 of them all the way around the nose to give it that tight seal. So let's get on with the show. Okay, GP, stand by. So what have we got just come in? A little single aisle. Okay, over there, folks, is your cargo hub at London Heathrow. IAG's cargo hub, of course. So they've just closed the main cargo door on that 747. So we should see her going out at some point soon, I'd imagine. LL's Dreamliner just lining up. How's everybody doing out there? It's just, of course, it's a different. Okay. Reading out comments on. Oh, look, Emirates Triple is on the push. GP, did you copy? Sorry. I guess you're keeping an eye, aren't you, on the hatch and yeah. It's just literally it's just almost like a camera over somebody's door, but this is a hatch, you know. Like he opens up, hello, mate. I keep the it's not every day we do it though, is it? Okay, so, wow, that's difficult, man, that's difficult. Okay, so that's my first one. Need to get that one out of the way. I need to move the sticks slightly. Sounds what? Inbound Queen. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let me move these sticks ever so slightly, just stand by. aware of obscuring the, putting the pip, keeping the pip keeping the left-hand side, the main image in the left-hand side, to minimise the pip obscuring the shot. But what I do need to do is I need to move these sticks. Okay, let me just do a quick check. Okay, that's going to have to change. Is that? What you got? Okay, 777 inbound. Okay, there we go. Hey folks, how are we all doing? 747 going to standstill, did you say? Dead! Okay. Paul MK, got steak, beer and Big Jet TV. What a great Sunday. Gary Webb, good afternoon to you. Simone, Karen Corker and Jackie B, Debbie Speller, Robert Colborne, Keith Cornell, Mr. Righty, Paul Turnbull. Good afternoon to everybody watching. It looks like the steps, the access steps are still up on that 747, so she's not going anywhere just yet. I wouldn't have thought yet. Crew steps, crew access steps, I think is the best way to describe that. Got an inbound 777 by the looks of it. Of course, we can beat NASA on one thing today, and that is the fact that we're in 1080p. Gary McIntosh, Nick McNair, Lee Davies, Kevin Carter. Fulham 1958. Less ISS, please. Okay, interesting. Is it something you could possibly bring up, Gilly, just as it's happening? Rather than keeping it there, bring it up just as it... Do what? Yeah, rather than leaving the pip up there all the time, let's cross over to it so I can go full screen on this. Okay, perfect. We're going to take that off now. Thank you, folks. And Fulham 1958, got you for that one. Fulham 1958. Is that when they won the cup or something like that? Ed Fernandez, good afternoon to you. Lee Davies. Mark Willis. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you've had a good weekend. All set for work on is that Saudi? Saudi is triple. Oh, it's Qatar, is it? Wow, seeing a lot of Qatar movements at the moment. You know, I'm seeing quite a lot of sort of like side by side Qatar movements. 350 flying alongside the 777 and you know, flying across Europe to and from. They've got a full service running at the moment. That's what they're saying with Qatar, and of course China opening their borders to a number of different a number of countries now. We'll have to see how that all evolves over time. But good to see Qatar's freighter. Still keeping an eye on that 747, folks. Oh, look, Iran Air. A330. Saw that making its way over Europe earlier on. Oh, sorry about that. Lots of hardware, lots of light poles and this, that and the other. No matter where you go at Heathrow, you cannot avoid lampposts. Thank you. Oh me, oh my. Oh no. Which a little old lady goes by. Oh, it looks pretty cool with a SpaceX pip though. 857 people, good afternoon to you. Ross Kennedy, Barry Ackerman, good afternoon. Emma Funnel, Marco Del Guidis, barbecue done, chillax time. Roar, Lucius, good afternoon. Roar, am I pronouncing your name right, Roar? I don't want to go rah, even though I'm probably be quite cool if it is, but you might be a lady, I don't know. Good afternoon to you anyway. Kimberly Bond, good afternoon. Scott Feltham, he's not. Oh, he's good afternoon from Tunbridge. He's in Tunbridge. Scott, good afternoon to you. I nearly said it there. Nikki Dalton sent 50 stars. Thank you, Nikki. Thanks for all the thumbs up, by the way, folks, and the love hearts. Trish Peters and Ross Kennedy watching. Still got the crew access steps up on that Boeing 747, folks. Enda Burke, good afternoon. Wonderful photographer from up there in Manchester. If you like your photography, folks, make sure that you follow Enda Burke. Got some fantastic photography. Kimberly Bond, good afternoon to you. Nathan Brown, Fly Emirates is coming indeed. She is sent 50 stars. Thank you very much indeed. Rosalind Antero. Jordan Hay had a fantastic day at LAX yesterday. Lots of heavies. Wow, Jordan. Wow. Sasso. Wow. So Jordan over in LAX, and there's lots of heavies. That's interesting. Is it? Okay, here comes your Emirates. I think this is their stocker. Steve Taylor, 50 stars. Thank you. Anne-Marie Parley, 100 stars. John Roycroft, sorry. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much, folks. Really appreciate all your thumbs up. And this is a 300 variant, 777-300 with Emirates. One of the largest fleet operators of the 777 as well as the A380, I think, if I'm right in saying. Let's get this one. So this shouldn't make too much of a turn once she goes out. See the flaperons behind the engines. Not really, quite gusty at the moment, so getting caught by a bit of side slip as they depart, which is what we saw just now. A little bit of thermals as well. She won't really make much of a course change apart from that one. Straighten her up. She's off. Oh, it's time for autopilot. Okay, still we wait. What was the name of that? What was it they had to do? They had to do the decompress their the parlez-vous français or whatever it's called. The parlour. Was it? Lynn Keeble, good afternoon to you. Mitchell O'Shea, good afternoon, Mitchell. Hope you're well. All you folks on Facebook and YouTube, good afternoon. Architect design, nice belly and bank shot. Blue sky gives good detail. Tell you what I saw just now, folks, which was quite interesting, before we went live. Virgin Atlantic A350 1000. Lots of soot behind the engines, which is just, we know that they've got quite a high oil burn rate on those XWB engines. Something that we found out from a number of different sources. And it is interesting to see that soot underneath the engines. Underneath on the wing from behind the engines, of course. Ken Woodhall, good afternoon to you, Ken. Stuart Eves, Kevin Carter, Harrison Fensom, DHL 757, next in from Leipzig. Yeah, okay, we'll check that one. Kenneth Story, hello, all nice day again, indeed it is. Got a bit of inclement weather. Well, I say inclement, it's a bit of rain due towards the end of next week on forecast, so we'll have to keep a check out for that. Of course, don't worry about it, folks. If it rains, I'm out here in all conditions. It doesn't matter what the conditions are, I'm out here for you. Irish Dublin girl, good afternoon to you. Les Tankard. Les, not on the roof just because of the fact that we've got to wait until the folks at the Hilton Garden Inn are in a position to welcome us back. They obviously have to prioritise people going in and out of the hotel at this stage. So they desperately want us back, but we just have to be patient with it. So it will come, don't you worry about it. John Kemp, good afternoon to you. Samson Video, Cathay 747, due out at 6:50. Oh wow, okay, so that's a long time out then, wow. Thank you for that. Are you serious? Wow. Yes, he'd be right in thinking that. No flies on Barry. Oh, Gary, sorry, even. I thought hearing the name Bob and Doug, I thought it was the couple from Emmerdale that were on the bleeding SpaceX. Keep past me spanner, Doug. All right, Bob. Anyway, there we go. Ertz, good afternoon to Ertz. Upgraded membership to first class. Ertz, thank you very much indeed for your support, and of course everybody else for your wonderful support. Gray Phillips, 747 due south at 30,000 feet. Jerry Magma Aviation 282 track. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you very much indeed. Nick McNair, Paul Hodgson, Saudi Boeing 787-900 first visit for Heathrow due out at 6 p.m. Wow. So in the next 45 minutes around about there, we should see some more movements. Gary Sibthorpe. No, that was a fire engine, my friend. Jet Ski Maddie, great shot, thank you. Henk Busenk, what a clean shot. Joshi, Julie, BA 9110 has just taken off from Manila. That's the 380. Thank you, Julie, for that. Karen Corcoran, yeah, I think he's due in at 10:25 tonight, something like that. Thank you, Steve Lawson. Great to be back at Heathrow with you. There was talk of a Coningsby visit. Indeed, Steve, that's the plan. Next week, daytime operations, is it, at Coningsby possibly? I'm not sure, but we will check and see. Perhaps if Mike is in the house, he could let me know. It's good afternoon to you at Black Forest 1 2 3 4 5 6. Awesome show with brilliant colours. Well, that's good. Always great to have good feedback from you folks. Quite interesting that 747 has in fact closed her main cargo door, but not going out till for another 45 minutes. It's just all about slots, isn't it, I'm guessing. Laura Ribbons, good afternoon to you. Mark Cox, good evening. Stevie Luscombe, good afternoon to you. So this is the DHL 757, I think, that is now approaching. Static Chaos, good afternoon to you. Daniel Morgan, yes, daytime ops at Coningsby, thank you very much for that. Brandon Baker, watching the show with my daughter, loving the show. Brandon, good afternoon to you and your daughter. Les Tanker, Jeremy Smith, good afternoon to you, Jeremy. Welcome everybody watching the show right now live on Big Jet TV, and we will cut to the SpaceX hatch opening moment as and when it happens, if it ever happens. And that will be hopefully main screen. Will cut to that if it happens during the show. We were expecting it within the hour, so it more than likely will happen during the show. Quite a hazy shot there, not the best of shots, but at least we're getting the touchdown. Oh, Mark Cox, yeah, I've spoken to pilot Chris with A350 pilot with Virgin Atlantic. Interesting, don't know, I did actually reach out to him, but he was busy, so I don't know, possibly, we'll have to see. Let me just see if he's... Oh, Chris Madge saying that the wave is back open again. Of course, don't forget RAF Waddington, folks. The Red Arrows restationing themselves from Scampton to Waddington. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that and see what happens there. Do we have any word on when the Arrows, the Reds, are moving from Scampton to Waddington? Do we have any official word on that? So interesting that Paul's saying that apparently, apparently the first revenue flight for British Airways with that A380 due at 10 o'clock tonight. Now, I don't know, when we talk about revenue, are we talking about repatriation? I wouldn't have thought it would be sort of like, you know, UK holiday makers going out to Joburg at this stage. So perhaps you could... Oh, Mark Cox, he messaged him last night, so thank you, Mark, appreciate that. Let me just have a look and see. Be great to do some stuff with Captain Chris, very active on Instagram, I think. Let me just see if he's messaged me, because I'm not an Instagram Oh, okay, I do have a message. And Captain Chris. Oh, this is nice from Captain Chris with Virgin Atlantic. No problem. You really have some incredible energy and amazing enthusiasm for aviation. Wow. Busy days. Perfect. Okay, I've got his phone number and I've got his email address. So perfect. Captain Chris, if you're listening now, thank you so much, sir. Saw one of your 350s going out just before the show started. I don't know if you're flying at the moment, but anyway, this was 4 minutes ago. Oh no, it was active 4 minutes ago. This one was yesterday at 9:11. So we'll have a little look. So that's wonderful. Thanks, Captain Chris. You know, it is interesting how some pilots are very nervous, I would say, and understandably so, considering the current climate with airlines. But really, if anything, airlines should be a little bit more welcoming for people and their crews to be reaching out to social media. I mean, we're not talking about coming on and slating any airlines or anything like that. We wouldn't allow that. I think it would be bad etiquette to do that. We're not a news channel in that sense of the word. I'd rather just talk about aviation, talk about the aircraft, talk about flying the aircraft, and so on and so forth. So that's something that obviously, you know, we will discuss possibly with Chris. It all depends on how far these guys want to go, because obviously it is important that I respect and understand privacy and obviously security as well with the flight crews. So hopefully we will get together with Chris in an upcoming show. Perhaps do have some other folks that are interested. Pete McCann, interested in getting involved. Ex Thomas Cook A330 captain and training captain as well. So hopefully. 2022, right, okay. Well, then in that case, it doesn't really matter. I mean, well, if we're up at Coningsby, there's no reason why we might not see some training exercises with the Reds while we're up there. But I've already spoken and reached out to the guys at Coningsby, folks. So they're already aware that we're coming up there at some point. So that's something to look forward to. And of course, so it's now definitely become apparent that everybody loves the military shows. Even if you're not into the military stuff, to be honest with you, who cannot love fast jets? Had a few folks during the Lakenheath show saying it's too noisy for them, too loud, which is understandable. Maybe just turn it down a little bit, because the sound effects, the sounds that come from these jet fighters, the 15s, you know, when you hear the nozzles making their adjustments, and the pilots, of course, especially Americans, love to show off a little bit. Richard Crow looking good at Heathrow, Jerry. Hope you have your sun lotion on. Got a long sleeve shirt and a high neck, to be honest with you, Richard. But thank you very much indeed. Gray Phillips, 20 minutes out. A300 DHL, 26 years old. Hope to see a little bit more activity. Usually there's a sort of an evening rush here at Heathrow at the moment. But at the moment we're not seeing very much activity, it has to be said. Let's have a little look on Plane Finder and have a look to see what we got. Boab sitting over there. Look at how sleek that is. Look at the design of it. You know, when it was originally conceived, it is just an incredible feat of engineering. Good evening, everyone. Simon Hill, Air China A350 from Beijing, 20 minutes. Thank you for that, sir. Lewis Jarvis, watching Big Jet TV in the garden with a Guinness. Wow, can't beat it. Yeah. I think Guinness is a bit like Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you know, I've tried Guinness before. It's very, very bitter, but I think if you stick with it, it's one of those drinks that's like, wow, yeah, this is good. It's bitter. It's proper bitter. And never changed. I don't think the recipe has ever really changed for a bit of blackcurrant. Okay, interesting. Swiss 220, 300 inbound, 10 minutes. Paul Hodgson, thank you, sir. Bulldog 617, won't see much at Marham next week until 6 p.m. Okay, that's interesting. But Bulldog, will we see much at Coningsby? That's the plan. Nobby is on the show. Long live Concorde. Yeah, well, long may she stay here, put it that way. Looking straight down the southern runway here at London Heathrow, runway 09 right, 27 left if we're on 27 operations. Should have that Magma 747 overhead at some point. Let's just have a little look. Not seeing anything at the moment. Got the sun straight at me, which is better than having it right behind me, I have to be honest with you. David Chapman, welcome to First Class on Big Jet TV YouTube. Welcome to you, my friend. Simboy, good afternoon to you. I'm meant to be going to Greece near the end of July. I mean, don't give up. Don't completely give up at this stage, folks. It is... you know, the further on your holiday is, you know, the Septembers, that sort of time, then, you know, with any luck, you might still be able to get out there. But I think most of the holiday companies have just flat across the board cancelled, purely from the point of view that it's not just the flights, it's the logistics, it's the hotels, it's the car hires, it's all of that kind of stuff that we need to consider at this stage, or they need to consider. So, and of course, the biggest part of it is the refunding of holidays. Could tip it over the edge for a number of holiday brokers and even airlines. You know, having to refund if you've got the opportunity to rebook in some way with the airlines. It might be something at least to look forward to for the future, rather than flat out cancelling it. Tony Hayes, great show as usual, even if it isn't as busy as we would all like. Yeah, indeed. You know, great to have you all with us, and of course, great to fill in the final part of your Sunday, or actually, if you're in the United States of America, the early part of your Sunday. Good afternoon to you. Okay, Coningsby operating. Sounds like it's daylight operations next week. Jeremy Smith looks like he might have to nip down an off licence and get some Guinness. China Eastern Sky Team livery, 3:30, 50 minutes out. Stephen Latham saying, thank you, Stephen. Is that Stephen Latham? Is that Steve Latham? No. Julie, the fella who... Steve Russell. Okay, Steve Russell is here. Cabby 048, watching jets help me sleep at night. Wow. Not with my flipping voice harping on all the time. I wouldn't have thought though, Cabby 48. But there we go. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, mate. Virgin cancelled my flight and mentioned 12th of July before restarting service. Yeah, I mean, I think what is hurting people currently at the moment more than anything is the whole problem with returning people having to go into lockdown themselves for another 2 weeks. You know, the whole that's something that is hurting the airlines, especially the likes of Virgin at the moment. Great shame, it has to be said, because they were sort of like looking to restart their program, or at least on a small scale, around about the middle of July, or towards the beginning to the middle of July. But now that looks pretty uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty at the moment in the aviation industry in terms of who's going to move first, who's going to get the go ahead first. And of course, you know, if the 2 week if the problem with having to stay in for 2 weeks after you return, I can imagine that, you know, we would have at least have had some kind of an Eastern service starting up with China, ironically enough, but we'll just have to see what happens with that. Oh, Gray Phillips Magma long gone now. Sorry about that, Gray. Really sorry about that. Simboy. Go Simboy, hopeful that TUI will be able to honour their flight. Virgin have rebooked our June holiday to April next year, no problems at all. Dave Carrington. Oh, well, that's good news. That's good news. That's a good bit of news. I'm glad to hear that. Going to have to go, even though I just moments ago my knuckles are causing my grief. Okay, Andy, that's a shame. Jazzy John, what's on tomorrow? We'll have to see, Jazzy. We don't know what's happening at the moment. Of course, it's going to be northern runway operations next week, folks. So, you know, we do have to rest. But I'll be honest with you, like I was saying to Jilly earlier on, with northern operations, it basically means that the incoming aircraft will roll all the way out past our position at the Renaissance, which will basically give us a good opportunity to look at them in detail, because they'll be taxiing down to Terminal 2. So it will be a case of seeing what's on schedule tomorrow, or what is at least coming in tomorrow, and we'll play it by ear, literally. What we want to see is just a steady, even if it is slow, return in some way to normality. But I think until they the government sort of like checks off this whole 2 week quarantine thing, it's going to be standstill. Literally, it's going to stall out at this point in time for passenger traffic, that is. Of course, we're going to continue to see these PPE flights coming in from all around the world, which is a good thing, of course. Yes, Angela. Worst bit about holidays, unless you are retired or don't work, is that you have to spend 14 days in isolation at home when you get back. Well, of course, you know, the problem with that is I can't see any employers honouring or paying or covering any pay whilst, if you go on holiday and then you come back and you have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. Paul MK, wife's birthday today. Dave Toolshard, we are just near to Hatton Cross Station. Bit of a different spot. Called up the local authorities, got ourselves a CAD number, and here we are, basically. Interesting. Daniel Crawford saying, does anyone have any idea when Virgin's 350-1000's leisure configurations are being delivered? That's the first I've heard of that. Dave Tolshar's looking forward to a trip to Berlin when this is all over, and possibly through the new Brandenburg airport, which is due to open in the autumn. Yes, of course. And yeah, because they're closing, or have they closed Tegel down? I think they've closed Tegel down already. Okay, well, be nice to the rat, Karen. Catch it humanely if you can, and then I've actually got a rat living underneath my shed. Well, I did have. Now it's Mice's, because Chachi, as you're aware, is a regular visitor to the end of the garden. Dave Carrington, restaurants and some bars are open in Florida. They're starting phase 2. Yeah, well, is this a what's this coming in here? Hello, is that the ATR 42? I think. Logan Air, possibly. See, battling a bit with the winds. Now there's a question for you folks. I know we touched on the anhedral and dihedral wing last night, but it appears that wing is either neither dihedral or anhedral, maybe just a ever so slightly anhedral, I think. Yeah, slightly angled downwards. Desperately want to see that jumbo going out. John Blower's 40th on Wednesday. Wow, a mere nipper on Wednesday. Angela Cooper. Yes, Angela, we are hoping that might be the case. I know that all the major airports around the world are trying to create some kind of a universal system whereby you can travel back to your home country and they will test you and be able to check your temperature. But the only problem is, of course, if you've mingled with somebody over there the day before you fly back, you might not show symptoms for up to a couple of weeks, so it's a little bit difficult to sort of like figure all of that out. But Lee's Travels, welcome to first class, Lee. Thunderbolt Dragon. Steve Lusker. Good afternoon, everybody. Nigel Nixon, Dave Carrington, Nobby Clark. Oh, I don't know about life beginning at 40. I think it began at 50 for me. I'll just keep making that excuse until I'm 6 foot under. Nancy Beam, good afternoon to you from Dallas, Fort Worth. That's somewhere where we're planning to travel to in the near future. Dallas, Fort Worth, take our members out there. Oh, look at that, Saudi's triple coming out. Say that, Nick. Oh, no, it's a Dreamliner. Saudi Dreamliner. Sorry, just caught the front end of that. I think this might be the one that Paul Hodgie was saying. First visit to London Heathrow, would that be right? Luke Van Jaap, 10 minutes till the hatch opening. keep an eye on that. Jeff Bundy missed the 340 NHS going out. Hoping to do some stuff with those folks down there at Bournemouth. Just need to tie it all together. We did have a show planned, folks, but the one of the links in the chain, which as I explained last week, when you're dealing with brokers and airlines, companies that look after the aircraft, the airport, the ground teams, security, there's so many different links in the chain, which can, if one of those links breaks or somebody new comes into the chain and isn't aware of what's going on and is a little bit unsure, you have to sort of like postpone things until you're able to start it all over again, unfortunately. Blue screen of death, somebody there saying there. Hey! Easy good, easy good. Oh, fair play. Doug Foley's 72. Well, fair play, Doug. Good for you, mate, and glad to have you here. Whoa, see, just a little bit of unsteadiness on landing there. Some thermals catching the aircraft, and of course, got a more or less a direct headwind at the moment, so that shouldn't be affecting them. The wind itself shouldn't be affecting them. Possibly just thermals just before the touchdown point. Master Pagey 1, welcome to economy. Interestingly enough, I saw in my dreams last night, my mate Pagey was in my dreams not literally like, you know, a love scene or something like that. I'm talking about like a, you know, he was there, he just appeared. I don't know why, but I haven't seen him for years, but, you know, good old mountain biking mate of mine from back in the days with Dirt magazine. Anyway, Master Pagey 1. It's not Nigel Page, is it? Alright there, kid. Take it easy, race, eh? It's good as Journey Jeans it. Crew access door still open on the Boeing 747 Cathay Pacific. Hearing that's due out possibly in around about 20 minutes, so going to keep an eye out for that. Got something approaching to my north. What? Okay, go for it. Hatch is open, folks. We're gonna go
to you and expect to do a welcome ceremony at 12:15 a.m. Central Time, 1:15 p.m. Eastern. That'll welcome Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the International Space Station as part of the Expedition 63 crew. We'll get to hear some words from them and have some VIPs here in Mission Control Houston to provide words to the teams that oversaw the entire mission and the crew aboard the International Space Station.
Station Houston, we copy the hatch open, no condensation, thanks.
Dragon, SpaceX on Dragon to ground, comm check.
Dragon to ground, how us?
A little choppy, how me?
You are loud and clear. We'll put section 2 of 4.400 in work.
We copy all. Thank you. And please give Anatoly a call on Big Loop.
Okay, we'll call Anatoly on the Big Loop, and I'd also like to report 2 bottles of water consumed from location 9, bag 204.
Location 9, bag 204, and to confirm that was for the waste system flush.
One for the waste system.
Chris Cassidy, removing that target from the APAS hatch docking interface.
Dragon, com check on the Big Loop for Anatoly from Endeavour.
Dragon FM, voice check. How do you read me? Counting 121, 122, 123, 124, 125.
Anatoly, Endeavour has you loud and clear. How copy?
Copy system. They have me loud and clear.
Good to hear your voice.
It's going to be very high. Okay, go audio.
And on the other side of the International Space Station, the Russian segment, Russian cosmonaut Anatoly Ivanishin completing those voice checks. You can see Cassidy continuing to outfit the hatch, just clearing the space and providing some padding and removing that docking target from the APAS hatch.
SpaceX Dragon, go ahead and Dragon to ground.
So I copy that the waste system flush is in work, and 2 more bags were consumed from location 9, bag 204, and that includes the water used for the waste system flush. Is that all correct?
From bag 204, one of which Bob is in the process of consuming, and the other will be for the waste flush. That is correct.
Perfect. Thanks for clarifying. And secondly, do we have your permission to come back on board with video?
Negative. We're going to need about 2 minutes. We're just wrapping up ops here right now.
Copy. 2 more minutes. We will await your confirmation.
Thank you.
Still getting views from the infrared camera that's located right at the center of the Dragon hatch, looking at Chris Cassidy, International Space Station Commander, outfitting that hatch, getting ready for Bob and Doug to arrive. You're hearing communications over Dragon to ground. That was Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley on the other side of that hatch, inside the crew Dragon vehicle, finishing up their operations on the inside for that hatch opening, expected in about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, it's been a process to get to this point. Just about 2.5 hours ago, docking to the International Space Station was Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the first commercial American vehicle to dock to the International Space Station with crew aboard. Again, we're expecting about 10 to 15 minutes to open up that hatch. One more hatch separating Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley from the inside of the International Space Station. Still looking at Cassidy doing some of the prep work for that hatch. We'll get some great views that Cassidy set up over the past few hours to capture this historic moment today. Be sure to stay tuned in at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, 1:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll start a welcome ceremony officially welcoming Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the International Space Station to join the Expedition 63 crew.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground.
Go ahead.
Anna, you're clear to come on board.
Copy. Clear to come on board, and thanks for your patience with the comm. We are in an orientation that's creating some blockage to receive your comm on Dragon to ground.
Yeah, we figured that was it.
Down the runway.
No problem.
Tell me when I'm back. Tell me when I'm back. Okay, are you putting the ISS in the pip or? Now this is what we're talking about, folks, for next week. Look how far he's come down the runway, just purely because he can roll it all the way out. He's not in any major hurry. It's not like there's somebody waiting to go out. It's not massively busy, so he gets the opportunity of using the full runway length and then just turning left straight over to Terminal 2 to offload. So that's what we're going to see tomorrow. Next week. We're going to see these guys coming straight past our position so we can get a good look at their bits and bobs, because I do like to look at planes' bits and bobs, if you knows what us means. Yeah, without wanting to go too much into the whole politics thing, but it does amaze me that on literally one side of the fence you've got America all proud and, you know, oh, it's amazing, you know, SpaceX, you know, private organisation, you know, teaming up with NASA and everything's amazing and America's amazing, and then over the other side of the fence they're burning the bleeding place down. It just is amazing. Justin Goddard, good afternoon to you. Jazzy John, Karen Corcoran, Jackie Green. Looks like you guys you can't do without me in terms of the old blah blah blah. But there we go. Much rather have me than some. Well, here we are in the space shuttle. We're just about to unhitch the hinges right now. This is hatch number 4 of 27. How are you doing over there, Bob? Well, John, I just about managed to switch the knob to the sequence setting number 4, and it'll be about another 10 minutes before I manage to get this macaroni sorted out. Thanks very much. Okay, that's the Bob just sorting out his macaroni, and we'll be back with him in about 10 minutes. Judy Chaston, good afternoon. Daniel Crawford, Nancy B. Good afternoon to you, Nancy. Mark Wallace, Karen Corcoran, Stevie Luskin. Bits and bobs. Let's just mind that. John Roycroft. Anne-Marie Parley, thank you. Lynn Keeble, Mitchell O'Shea, Jamie Edgington, hey, 777 pilot, Jamie Edgington watching. Good day, Jamie. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Managing to still fly, keeping those wings flying. Katrina Ina, Harmick Voskanian. Good afternoon to you, Yvonne Heelan. The world has indeed gone loopy. But we'll always be here. And don't forget, folks, next week, join us. Roa Losias. It's okay. Okay, so Roa, am I pronounced? I never seem to get this. Find out whether I'm actually pronouncing their name right or not. Kimberly Bond, holiday weather again. Sasso, and Seski. Good afternoon to you. Andrew McClure, you may remember him from shows such as it's Happy Birthday to Me and 150 stars to you, Andrew McClure. Happy birthday to you, my friends. Lots of birthdays today. Fly Emirates is coming. Nathan, thank you very much indeed. Rick Brooks, I think that was an old one, but thank you. Anyway, Nathan. Rick Brooks, good afternoon. Big Jet TV. We are just waiting, folks, for this 747 freighter with Cathay Pacific at the moment. Our special on the menu today with Big Jet TV. Still got the cruise steps. Or should I say the crew access door is still open with the steps until we see that move. What I am planning to do next week, folks, is to put together the best of show from Lakenheath last week. Now, if you were lucky enough to tune in, it was absolutely awesome, I have to say. I mean, we did really enjoy the wave last year with Cobra Warrior. That was fantastic with all the different aircraft that we saw taxiing up past us. Great close-up shots. Lakenheath delivered something a little bit different in terms of visuals and what we saw with the ground crews preparing the aircraft. Youngsters as well, it has to be said. 20-year-olds doing, seeing off an F-15E and C. Great visuals, I have to say. So, and as well as that, obviously the fly pasts, the landing sequences, everything together, as well as the C5 Galaxy going out as well. So that's something that I'm planning to put together next week. So I do need at least a day to work on that. Lynn Keeble, 4 minutes to hatch opening. We will of course make sure that we'll make sure that we cut back to it when it opens. Jane Alder, no, you haven't missed the 747, Jane. Steph Shim, awesome doesn't come close. I think that might be Steph talking about the Jets last week. Clue Mashburn. That's America for you. There you go, Clue. And good to have you here with us. Philip Gill, good afternoon to you. So on approach right now, 1,300 people watching on Facebook. Good afternoon to everybody. Hope you're well. Little Iberia A321. What else have we got on approach? Coming in from the south is Emirates 777. That is the 300. Another Emirates 777-300. Just coming in towards the. Towards St Albans is the China Eastern in the Sky Team livery, which is going to be great to see. Not from this angle, of course, because obviously, we've got the sun bearing down on us, so we're not able really to see the liveries in all their glory at this stage. So it was 6:30 GP The cafe, yeah. Okay, all right, okay. So it's a little bit unclear at the moment in terms of Eva Air's 777 inbound. She's not going to be in for quite some time yet, I don't think. So with the whole quarantine thing, does that basically mean that we're going to see the likes of Swiss Air and Iberia and all these short single aisle aircraft stopping their service? Is that something that we're going to stop seeing because of the whole quarantine issue? I'm not sure. Quite interesting that when you think about it. So let's just say, for example, somebody from Madrid flies out here on Iberia. They're a Spanish citizen. They fly out here. They spend a couple of days here on business, fly back to Spain. Are they going to be quarantined back in Spain? Are those Spanish citizens coming into the UK going to be quarantined for 2 weeks before? Yeah, they are, aren't they? They are. So everything will literally, in terms of the small traffic that we're seeing, other than the PPE stuff, it's highly likely that we're just going to see the big stuff, as like the Swiss A220s, the little Lufthansa 320 Neos, the Iberias. I don't know about Aer Lingus, I think, because that's internal, isn't it? That's if it's from Northern Ireland, then it's I've got Turkish's triple going out. Yeah, Northern Ireland, I think we'll be all right. But Dublin is Dublin is it's a tricky one, isn't it? Go on then, switch, GP.
And there's Bob Behnken. Still equalizing that pressure between Crew Dragon and International Space Station, just moments away.
Dragon SpaceX on Big Loop. You are go for hatch opening per the decal, followed by the remaining actions in your procedure 4.400.
Dragon copies, go for hatch opening and remaining steps in 4.400.
And with that, the hatch is open. 12:02 p.m. Central Time, 1:02 p.m. Eastern. Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley opened the hatch to the International Space Station after launching from American soil on a U.S. vehicle for the first time in 9 years, the first time ever for a commercially built spacecraft. If you're just tuning in, the hatches are open between Dragon and the International Space Station.
Okay, go audio, go audio.
And SpaceX Dragon in 5.9, we're going to exit out of 4.400 and transition to 2.102 Crew Dragon ISS arrival through the hatch opening.
I copy. With that, I understand you are complete with 4.400 and will follow along with you as you transition to the ISS procedure.
This is Mission Control Houston.
Okay, go audio. Whose 350 is this? Whose 350 is it?
Station Houston on Space Ground 2 for Chris. When you're able, we're just looking for a quick voice check on the mic.
Station Space Ground 2, go ahead.
Chris, we were hoping we could voice check the mic just before starting the PAO event.
Okay, copy that.
Houston Dragon on the big loop in step 6.1 of 2.102. IMV duct installation is complete. Go for IMV fan activation.
Houston copies, go for IMV fan activation, that's in work.
If you're just tuning in, you're getting a live look.
Station Houston on two things. Chris, we did hear you over the PAO side of things. That was a good voice check. We might ask you for one more. And then for the Dragon crew, you also have a go for 6.3. That's opening the location 23 and checking for debris.
Dragon copies 6.3 in work.
If you're just tuning in, you're getting a live look. On the left of your screen is a look inside the Crew Dragon on the Demo 2 mission. On the right, the International Space Station.
Houston
Bob Benkin.
Dragon on the big loop. We are ready for 6.4 and section 4 of the LIO instructions.
And Station, we copy. Dragon crew, you are go at 6.4.
In work.
This is Mission Control Houston. You're getting a live look at the inside of the International Space Station. Losing video communication from the International Space Station. It will only be momentary. We'll have those views back to see Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley enter the International Space Station. When they do, it'll be the first time that humans will enter through this hatch for the first time in 9 years.
Go now. Let's just... Oh, is it a Dreamliner, is it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, folks, just check this out. Dreamliner on intersect. Extremely light. Little bit of overspill on the engines there, you can see. Just as he powers up. Qatar Triple is taxiing out, yeah. This guy could go up very, very quick. Wow, this is low, man. This is really low. Look at this. Oh, bless him. Is it what channel is he on? On Twitter. And what's his name? George has got to eat his dinner. Come on, George, you can eat your dinner. I bet you can eat. Oh, I'll tell you what though, the crew door is now closed on the crew access steps have gone. So George might be on cue here for this 747 going out. George on Twitter, you've got to eat your vegetables. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Yeah. There you go, look. Or has it? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Ready to fly. Really? Blimey. Might be a little bit... Nope. The Qatar's coming out now. Yeah. He's actually Finnair, I think. I think Finnair is... Oh, are we audio off, are we? Oh, okay. No. You just carry on until the until you see something.
And Chris, we see you trying. We're still not hearing you in MCC. We're working on it.
No. Leave the audio on. Leave my audio on. So this is Finnair's 320 coming out, I think. And behind him is possibly the China Eastern, is it? In the Sky Team livery. Willis Wadwick. I'm afraid we haven't got a Wadwick, sir. We've got a Bwyan. Wow, this guy's really high already, man. What's that? They're currently having mic problems. Hey! Qatar lining up now. My audio on, yeah, Jilly? Okay. So with the crew door, with the crew access door closed, I would have said they're very close to pushback. This guy might roll quite a long way down, I don't know. But he's got Qatar behind him, so he's being asked to vacate runway. Steph Shim, I couldn't work for NASA, I'm too impatient. Hurry up! Clary, good afternoon to you. I don't know, actually. I think that's more like Alitalia. I think that's Alitalia's 330, isn't it? Or am I seeing things? I'm just looking at, or is that the Sky Team livery? Oh, no, I think that might be, no, that's Sky Team, isn't it? No, hold on. No, that's the Sky Team livery, that is. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, Air China in the Sky Team livery, yeah. Or actually China Eastern in the Sky Team livery, I think. Get it right in a minute. Say a bit then. Good afternoon, Phil Hayward. Yeah, that went out a little while ago, I think. Either that or she's just on her way out now. So Qatar 777. On the roll, folks. On the roll. Here we go. And then after him, looks like we've got BA lining up. Make it low. Make it low. Make it low. Come on, mate. Come towards us. They're out, are they? Switch audio, though, there's a delay, isn't there? Because I haven't...
Station Houston. We see you, and it's a great-looking photograph. So thanks for that. Stand by one. We'll call you when we're ready for the event in the next few seconds. Got a whole bunch of very happy and grateful people making their way into MCC right now.
Demo 2 crew now aboard the International Space Station. They entered at 12:22 p.m. Central Time. The station at the time was 262 statute miles over Turkmenistan. Crew all gathered in front of the cameras at the Node 2 forward end of the International Space Station. Just behind them is the hatchway to the Crew Dragon on this Demo 2 mission. We're standing by for a welcome ceremony. We'll have VIPs here in Mission Control Houston ready to greet the crew.
Yeah, switch it, please. Yeah.
I will tell you, the whole world saw this mission, and we are so proud of everything you have done for our country and, in fact, to inspire the world.
We sure appreciate that, sir. It's obviously been our honor to be just a small part of this. We have to give credit to SpaceX, the Commercial Crew Program, and, of course, NASA. It's great to get the United States back in the crewed launch business, and we're just really glad to be on board this magnificent complex.
Well, we have some VIPs with us here, and I'm sure they have some questions that they'd like to ask you, but I have one of my own before I turn it over. And I just wanted to find out if you guys got any sleep on your way up there the last, I'd say, I got 19 hours. Did you guys get any sleep?
Yeah, I think a lot of folks in Hawthorne were asking the same question, sir, but we did get probably a good 7 hours or so opportunity for sleep, and I did succeed at sleep, and Doug did as well. So the first night is always a little bit of a challenge, but the Dragon was a slick vehicle, and we had good airflow, and so we had a excellent evening, and just excited to be back in low Earth orbit again.
Amazing. Well, one of the people that is here with us today is Senator Ted Cruz, and of course he's a huge advocate of America's space program, and he's been somebody who has helped us so much as we transition from one administration to the next administration. And the reason missions like this can have success is because of continuity of purpose. And Senator Ted Cruz was a leader on a bill called the the NASA Transition Authorization Act. And because of that, we have had a lot of political support, and we're very grateful for his leadership. Senator Cruz, would you like to say a few words?
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. The eyes of the world are upon you, and everyone is proud of you. All of America is watching you, and today and yesterday represent big, big days. We're looking at a decade since we've had American astronauts launched on an American ship from American soil. And I can tell you, I sat with my wife and kids in our living room watching on TV yesterday, and I suspect we did what just about everyone watching did, including both of you, which is held our breath as it took off. And we're glad to see you've landed safely. We're glad to see you've docked. And so let me ask you, that Dragon is an amazing vehicle. How does she handle?
It flew just like it was supposed to. It was we had a couple opportunities to take it out for a spin, so to speak, once after we got into orbit last night, and again today about 20 minutes before we docked. And my compliments to the folks back at Hawthorne and SpaceX for how well it flew. It is exactly like the simulator, and we couldn't be happier about the performance of the vehicle.
What do you guys hope to accomplish in your time on the International Space Station?
Well, while we're on board the space station, of course, with the new spacecraft, we do hope to put her through her paces, and so the good ship Endeavour is going to get a lot of checkout over the next week or two here, and hopefully we'll be able to declare her operational, and Doug and I will be able to take some burden off of Chris and his crewmates, Ivan and Anatoly, so that we can keep the space station operating at its peak possibilities. So we're looking forward to contributing any way that we can, and like I said, trying to keep space station as productive as possible.
As a country, we're in the midst of a tough week. We're seeing protests, we're seeing a lot of anger, we're seeing violence. And I have to say, this launch and y'all's docking is a powerful inspiration of what we can do when we come together, of the power of unity, the power of ingenuity. And so I guess the last question I would ask you is since you have the opportunity to address, in particular, all the young people in America, what would you tell them in terms of what we can do when we can come together?
You know, that's a great question. 9 years ago, just about exactly 9 years ago, we docked with Atlantis on STS-135, the last flight of the Space Shuttle program, a 30-year program. And folks at SpaceX, folks at NASA, the Commercial Crew Program put their heads together and worked diligently year after year, making sacrifices, working hard. And then 9 years later, American launch capability was restored, and this is just one effort that we can show for the ages in this dark time that we've had over the past several months to inspire especially the young people in the United States to reach for these lofty goals and work hard and look what you can accomplish.
Thank you, gentlemen. God bless you.
Are we done? Are we done? Is that it? Okay, perfect. Oh, God bless you, Governor. It's a shame you didn't do that, isn't it? God bless you, Governor. But anyway, we're all back on, full screen and everything, yeah? Drone Hunter, Anthony Lee Wrench, Jazzy John, Healthy Chick saying, great job, Jerry. I always appreciated your shows. This dual feed is so great, I had to say no. Well, thank you, Healthy Chick. And I'm imagining that you are a healthy chick. And congratulations. Karen Corcoran, Paul Hodgson, Qatar Cargo over top, now west to east. Colin Stew What happened to Doug? I missed it. Did someone say that he had a bash on his head? No! Oh, bless him. Virus in space. But there we go. The new dragon. Keith Cornell. Is Aeroflot due tomorrow, June 1st? That was what I heard. Okay, that's interesting. Well, if it is, that's good. That's a good thing, isn't it? Because we'll come and grab that. I'll tell you what, we most definitely will do. Jackie Green saying, thanks, Jerry and Ginny, for doing that. Our absolute pleasure. Thought you might want to see it. Henk Pusik on with the show. And the KLM, that's the only KLM. That's something we haven't seen for a little while, isn't it? KLM, man. So there you go, Healthy Chick, thank you for joining up. First class member right there on Big Jet TV. Russell, Gemini Russell here. I watched the launch live from Titusville. Huge crowd on hand, very small flame and virtually no smoke plume, unlike the shuttle and other Atlas rocket launches. Glad I saw it live. Wow, would have loved to have been there with you, Russ. And who knows, on a future launch we might be able to do that. Eva Air 777 from Bangkok, due in soon. Simon Hill on YouTube. Thank you, sir. In fact, I can't. That's a bird. Stuart Tyne. Jerry, just love the show. Thank you, Stuart. Really appreciate it. When did the AN225 take off, Jesse John say? I don't know. Not from here. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there. Yeah, okay. I've got you. Just to the north. Eva Air banking in from the south, and Cathay Pacific going out from Sierra. Although saying that looks like a slight intersect, possibly. This could be, I think that's an intersection departure there. I don't think that's full length, which is quite interesting. Let's just have a look and see where she, yeah. Look at this is intersect, folks. I think this one's going to go up quite quick as it happens. I don't think she's going to definitely turn and burn, because she's got a 777 behind her. But this one's going to go up pretty rapid, me tinks. Blimey. I've got a DHL 757 in the High Street in Staines at the moment. It's quite interesting. Here we go. Look how quick she's gone up, man. Thanks, mate. You what? Nice one, man. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? DHL 757 coming out by the looks of it. I don't know if I'm right on that, but definitely coming this way. It's just been down the high street. Thanks, man. Marky Mullen. Wow, what a bird. Stuart Time. Has he put it on? Look, he's put it on. Look. He's got his Big Jet TV sticker on there already. Good lad, good lad. Daniel Crawford, got to love the 747. Yeah, I mean, we'll see them for many years to come, folks. Don't panic. It's not. This is Eva Air's triple, I think. It's not something that's all of a sudden going to like bang. That's the end of it. It was, it was a slow and painful death for the 747 anyway, especially with British Airways. I think we had around about another 5 years left of the 747 with British Airways. But hey, who knows? Maybe another 2 years left. Certainly, from what we can see, the way things are, I've got a truck coming. This is definitely going to, looking at the timing of this one, I don't know actually, got a bus, got a truck. No, we're good. Yeah. This is another one. He may well roll all the way out. James Scott, upgraded membership to super class. James, thank you, sir. Very, very kind of you. It's sad for me in Manchester as no Virgin 747s. Jan Howarth. Yes, indeed. Of course, Jan. Yeah, and that's something that we're waiting for at the moment to hear just when those 747s are going to be flying out, whether they're all going to fly out in one go or whether they're going to stagger them. We don't know yet at this stage. Oh, it's a BA 777, is it? It's not Eva, sorry. From Joburg, Craig Turner saying, thank you, Craig. Oh, that might be one of the repatriation flights then. Thank you, folks. Gary McIntosh, of course. Not really, Paul Emerson. It's just somewhere that I just thought, well, I'll call up the police and get a let them know where I am, like you always have to here at Heathrow, even if you are in, even if you're on the private land over at the paddock or anywhere, even on top of the Hilton Garden Inn. We always let the police know, just out of common courtesy. Mark Barr. Kieran Barrett, yes, most definitely. That is the plan to do Coningsby this coming week. There's that DHL 757. That'll go up like a skyrocket. Now I think one of these is Eva Air. There we go, Adrian MG53 Eva Air turning it onto finals, and there are the two of them there. Don't know if we're going to be able to see that. There they are there. Two inbounds. 757 going to turn and burn. Yeah, so congratulations has to go out to SpaceX and all the folks who've worked hard on that operation. I bet old Branson's a little bit peeved, isn't he? Tony Hall saying only 3 to 4 flights yesterday at Manchester. Wow, that's insane. Look at that. Look at the steep climb on that. Look at that. Give the bleeding SpaceX a run for his money at that rate. Execution for those for the 7.6s and the 7.5s. Oh, on that, say about that. BA320 from Gibraltar, 25 minutes out, Simon Hill saying, yeah, interesting. So those flights, those, you know, even though they're, see, Gibraltar, no, they're still going to have to quarantine when they're coming in from anywhere, really, I'm guessing. Other than, obviously, you know, internally, domestically within the UK. From, you know, from Scotland or... know about that, to be honest with you. It's all a very grey area at the moment. It's like Alitalia to me, that does. Eva behind it must be. Is that Alitalia's 330 again? Yeah, I think it is. Oh no, it's not. No, that's like Shenzhen or Capital. Is it Capital? Sorry, folks, it's just very difficult. Wow, look at that. Is it Shenzhen? Yeah, yeah. He's back on the throttle there, you can see that through the props. Sorry folks, sorry. There goes the mail. Tianjin. Thank you very much. I was right, Dane Grayson. Thank you. It's tricky when I'm looking at it. All I can see most of the time is just a silhouette. So from some angles, it's difficult to pick it out. Pronounced Shenzhen. Okay, thank you. Dane Grace, BA 350 on finals, thank you. Tony Mikalev, Tony telling us that on its normal route to Isle of Man. Thank you for that. Stevie Luscombe, all the tyre dust. Okay, did you see? Is he talking about on the departing aircraft? It's crazy to see. You see it a lot on the 330s and the 777s. Adrian MG53, reverse front seating on the ATR 42. Interesting. Thank you for that. So we'll be waiting to hear updates on Aeroflot's A350 coming into Heathrow, hopefully tomorrow. That's I'm not going to say what that is. So it looks like Alitalia, but it's probably Aer Lingus, isn't it, or something like that? Yeah, Aer Lingus. Yeah, Aer Lingus 321NX. Extended range capability. Fuel tanks only. No other aerodynamic change to the aircraft or anything like that. Just purely fuel tanks. What's that? Looked like BEA for a minute there. Oh, that's the Swiss 220, I think, possibly. Jamie Edgerton's going to get to fly the reconfigured 777-200 with the empty cabin. And also, what I'd like to know, if possible, is the 777-2 that they stripped out. Is it actually? Did they take out the entire seating from the cabin, or just the economy? That's something I'd like to know. Western Global 747 freighter over the west of the top of you, Jerry. I'm looking. Hercules, wow. That's going to be a tricky one. Wow, a lot of tyre smoke from that 350, man. That was a smoky touchdown. Got to say, some great social media posts from pilots across all the airlines going on at the moment. To be honest with you, I think it's actually it's the pilots that are keeping the airlines going in terms of their social media. I think the social media teams of the airlines are sort of like, just, well, don't know what they're doing. From Tel Aviv, thank you, Paul Skilling. Japan Airlines, Dreamliner by the looks of it. John Blower, Chris Webb, yes, indeed. C-130 sit on ADSB a little while ago over France. Keith Cornell saying, I haven't got a good look at that at the moment, unfortunately. Let's just see if I can pick him up. What is? Is it? Where's he going? Oh, bloody hell, there he is. Flipping heck, yeah. Stand by. Is he going into Bryce or is he going into Northolt? He makes a right-hand turn now. He's going into Northolt. More likely Bryce, I would have thought. No, that's too far north for Northolt. I think that's going into Bryce. Also got been in touch with the station at Bryce Norton as well, folks. Got the all clear to do a show from up there, albeit from the end of the runway. So in terms of visuals, we've got the ILS right in our way. It's looking straight down the runway. Pretty spectacular shot. So we'll have to see how we go with that. Coningsby is going to be a lot more promising, and of course Lakenheath. And RAF Marham as well, which we're looking to do. And thank you for Bulldog 617 for giving us the lowdown on that. This is your the one in from Malta, is it? It's 320 Neo. Swiss 220 lining up. Oh, it's got Gibraltar, sorry, yes, of course, when I was saying Gibraltar. Sounds the same. On to Gibraltar. Potato, patata. And all that. Israel, did I just see there? Michael Hannibal say yes, C-130 returning to Bryce Norton. Good afternoon, Dan the man. John Blower, Stevie Lusker, Kieran Barrett. Is Marham busy with F-35s? Yes, it is indeed. Busy with F-35s. Oh, right, okay, so Mike telling us that first class seating was retained for crew rest. Sorry? Sean, sorry. Shaw crewman. Oh, right, okay. So, telling us that Mike Kilo retaining the first class seating. Virgin Atlantic tomorrow, got a 7-person crew going out. 7 pilots, I think that's. Bush-tastic. Okay, something. I think it's something coming out. Oh yeah, sorry. That's of course Japan Airlines Dreamliner on his way out. Tony Hall, 6 minutes, 777-300 in from Shanghai. Edgy. Ruth Cole is here. Good afternoon to you, Bulldog 617. Currently we're busy as we have a deployment on the Queen Elizabeth soon. Wow. There you go. Druth C. Thank you very much indeed. Hello to Ruth Cole. Yes, good to see you here. Chris Norman, Nigel Warren, Air China Star Alliance, A330-200 due in at 8:05. We're going to be leaving here quite soon, folks, just because the main focus was to get that Cathay 747. We will be back, don't you worry about it, and of course we're planning for our show at Coningsby next week. John Blower, A220 side stick. I think it is a side stick control. Colin Hill, good afternoon. Ruth Cole, yes, but not as wealthy. Steve Luscombe, good afternoon to everybody watching right now. Deployment on the Queen Elizabeth. Okay. Now, okay, Queen Elizabeth being what? Are we talking about? Aircraft carrier Queen Elizabeth here, or? Didn't think that is that active now, or am I going mad? Deployment on the Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, okay. Well, more info on that, please. If you would, please. Jim Petty! Good afternoon. Israel due in soon, Dan. Thank you for that. Got Japan Airlines Dreamliner on its way out. Dan is waiting for his fish and chips. Oh, that sounds good. Paul Hodgson, yes indeed. Side stick control for the A220. It's actually the Embraer that is the one that we saw last night on the quiz. Funny enough, looks like the Concorde yoke control. Okay, Dane Grayson, F-35s are for HMS Queen Elizabeth. Wow. Air China 330 in 15 minutes from Adrian. Oh, there we go, Thunderbolt Dragon, Queen Elizabeth. So the F-35 has the takeoff capability, carrier launch capability. Wow, that's great. And of course, it's got that ramp, hasn't it? It's got the ramp. So obviously they can shorten the ship, or in terms of the actual runway strip itself, it's a lot shorter because it has the ramp. Well, Tony Strickland, Japan Airlines, this particular one built in 2016. 4 years old. Thank you for that. Thank you, Thomas Force. Lee Russell, good afternoon to you. Colin Bristow, watching on Facebook. John Bolland. It did go to Norfolk, did it? Wow. Wow. Andrew Strain, good afternoon to you. Loopy is in the house. Oh, okay, so it did a huge circuit, did it? Oh, okay, that's why I thought, because it looked like it was going way past Norfolk. Oh, it did it? Okay. Afternoon, everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube as well. Oh, bless, let me do that. Who is that? Who is it? Oh, Nick Moore, got you. Yes, we'll do that just now. Let's get this triple. I think it's a triple. Looking quite triply. Shout out to Ella and Jessica before they go back to school tomorrow. Wow, good times for those guys. Going back to school, meeting up with their mates, obviously needing to work on the whole social distancing thing. Difficult thing for kids to do, it has to be said. You know, attention span with kids is like, you know, it's very short indeed. Although I must say I was quite impressed with, I saw a couple of young lads when I was standing outside the post office yesterday in the queue, distancing and all that stuff. And one of the young lads reached into his pocket and he had a tube of the old, you know, the hand sanitizer with him. Fair play to him. Bless him. Only a young lad. Bottle of hand sanitizer, not a tube. So hope all goes well for Ella and Jessica at school tomorrow. Big Jet TV has really entertained them and taught them some things as well. Fantastic, that's what it's all about. That's one thing that we did actually put on our business profile, that a lot of people have been asking businesses that are looking for us to do some work with them in terms of shows. And like I said, folks, any shows that anybody asks us to do We'll always think of you guys first. You will come first. If they're wanting us to do a post-production piece, I don't have any interest in doing that. That's not what this is about. If they're not interested in doing it live, then they'll just have to go and hire another production team to do that for them, because that's not what we're about. If they want us to come airside and film some stuff with them live and then cut that into a promo reel for them, then we're more than happy to do that. Of course, it's all free of charge as well. That's where they save their money, by not having to pay what can be sort of like £5,000-6,000 for a production company to come in there with, 3-4 man crew, multiple cameras, all lots of equipment, quite a technical and logistically challenging project. Whereas with me, one camera, one mic, backpack, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. God bless you, blame me, really enjoyed it, we love you. Japan Airlines Streamline. It's quite low. Puff of brake dust, perhaps. Those engines on the Gen X and the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines, distinctive scalloped exhaust cowls on them. Actually, not the exhaust cowls, because the exhaust tips are behind the contained within the engine, but the actual the cowls that control the airflow through the engine. It is amazing that around about only about 30 to 40% of the air ingested into the engine is actually used for ingested into the engine. The rest of it is actually goes through alongside the engine and is thrust by the main fan blades themselves. So it's got a double-edged sword to it, so to speak, I guess is what you could say. Richard Hodge, welcome to first class, Richard. You are more than welcome, my friend. I'm working nights again, Jerry, so keep an eye on movements at Coningsby. He will keep an eye on movements at Coningsby. Thanks, Bulldog. Appreciate that, Mike. Leslie Eglinton giving a shout out to Richard. Lots of people, obviously, as always, giving a shout out to new members. Matthew Watts just rebooked holidays from East Midlands Airport. Is there a lot of activity for me to view? Costs to East Midlands Airport. From East Midlands Airport. Okay, from East Midlands Airport. As in EMA, East Midlands Airport. Not Birmingham, but East Midlands. Interesting. That will be probably Ryanair, perhaps. I don't know, or TUI. I don't know if TUI fly out of East Midlands, do they? But anyway. Yeah, EMA is mainly a cargo hub, but no, there is a passenger passenger terminal there. Oh yeah, I don't understand that really. Adrian saying you could do a small jet TV from Guernsey. I'm actually due to go out to where is it that Aurigny are based? That's in Guernsey, isn't it? Got to go and see the guys out there at Orani. Got a pilot friend of ours who's a member on Big Jet TV, pilot Tristan, flying the Embraer, the one only Embraer that Orani currently flying. I'd say it's the smaller airlines with the smaller fleets that are more than likely to not suffer as much of those ones with the bigger fleets. So you would imagine that Virgin are in a pretty decent position in terms of fleet size. Oh, there we go. Paul MK, Ryanair, Jet2, TUI, amongst others. Can you bring your own planes to Manchester too, Colin's saying. So it's another dawn tomorrow, isn't it? A new dawning for the UK in terms of people going back to school, kids going back to school, parents obviously as a result of that being able to go back to work. Interesting to see him. Which way is he going? Oh, is that the? How many times have I said that today? It's Alitalia, isn't it? And it probably isn't. Oh, Mark Willis, I did proper naff on the... Oh, no, that's that Israel, isn't it? Israel, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Headed over T4, that's quite interesting. And 777 taxiing out. Reef Cole been working since lockdown. Wow, that's not a lot of people can say that they've been doing that. But obviously, me saying that on there now, probably loads of people will come on and say, "Well, I've been working since lockdown. I've been working since lockdown." Lucky you if you have. It has to be said. Flipping it, Paul. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, Keith Cornell telling Matthew Watts there, I think that in reference to Coningsby, Eurofighter Typhoons and the BBMF. And of course, hopefully the BBMF will be, be great to find out if they've got some flights planned, practice circuits, even if they're just circuits planned this week at Coningsby. Mark Willis, yes, I did see the launch last night. In fact, we got a disco version of the launch last night. Nearly it went off. Nathan Pilley, welcome to Economy, Nathan. Storm Grey, I'm stuck, not working till July, looks like. Wow, unlucky, mate. Yes, welcome, Nathan. Got a 777 inbound, 777 outbound by the looks of it. Oh, A330 with Air China inbound and a Dreamliner outbound. So completely wrong on both fronts. What's that? Oh, Nathan's gone up to executive. Thank you, Nathan. James Clark. No, James, the quiz is at the end of every month now. Planning for it to be the last Friday of every month. Paul Skilling, this is the 787 Dreamliner lined up for Toronto. Manchester Ringway Visitors Park reopens tomorrow. It says on their website you can bring your own tables, chairs, picnic blankets and ladders. Wow, there you go. So what kind of traffic do they have at the moment up at Manchester? Waiting to hear on the Virgin 747s coming out of Manchester at some point. Like I said, don't know whether they're going to they're all going to go at once, or they're going to stagger them. Hopefully all at once. That will be a sight to see for fans up there in Manchester. Air China and Qatar are probably, along with Emirates as well, possibly one of the most common carriers in at London Heathrow, or frequent, should I say. Cameron Knight's when, or is that when was the launch show taken off YouTube? I don't know. Someone needs a G&T. I just saw. Is that our transmission? Dean Barrow. Good afternoon. Welcome, Dean. Upgraded membership to Superclass, Dean. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Very kind of you. Very generous of all you guys. Great to have you with us. windy here, folks. Quite blustery. That's why I'm. Look at that flex, man. Look at that wing flex. That's why I'm struggling a little bit to hold the camera still on the zoom shots. Zoom. And then the whole wide world waves the rainbows flying high and faster, good at sometime I was finally free, and you get back to me. Shit. Okay, folks. Head off. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your company. Welcome to all new members as well. Really appreciate all of your support. Martin Mangnau has just joined on first class. Welcome, Martin. We'll be back for you tomorrow, folks. Don't you worry about it. We are planning to get here for the Aeroflot A350, which we're hearing is going to be here. Got a special members only show, so all you folks who've just joined on membership, we're going to be bringing you a first class and super class members only show from Coningsby this week. That is the plan, and of course we'll keep you abreast of everything that's happening here at London Heathrow. It's northern runway operations this week, so we're going to see those aircraft touching down, coming right past our position. We can have a right good look at their bits and bobs as they come past, and all join in the chat once again. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and look after yourselves. And hey, kids, enjoy being back at school tomorrow. And of course, the mums and dads will be relieved to get back to work. Remember, if you can wear a mask, it's entirely up to you, but I think it's a good thing that you can do. Yeah, look after yourselves, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow here on Big Jet TV. Take it easy. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, GP, we are good to go.